last week, Maureen and I were chatting away, and the beginning of it kind of got missed.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that.
But in the recording, it still opens at a perfect spot. But
Oh,
that's
good.
all right. Oh my gosh, what if so I flew up from Florida this morning, got to Katie's, just ran over to a quick dinner party for Sarah Parker's birthday, and then left and ran over.
Oh,
So we might have a little bit of children in and out, possibly here and there.
that's okay.
We never know. But I have something in my eye. All right. So how is it going? Let me see if anybody else. Oh, this is making me. Let me go to participants. Who else is that?
What is admin?
I know, that's what I'm looking. I think it's that old Oh, Miss Allie. Allie, you're an admin. Don't know. Oh, probably because I sent you the direct link. No, don't know why, but okay, let me just open up
I
my
think
notes.
this phone is this computer is called that.
Oh, how funny. Okay. Oh, so how's it going, Case?
Good. It's good. I'm eating my kitchery right now, enjoying chilling out. I did go for a run earlier. I was like, this
Good.
work is stressful. It's like our really, really busiest season. So there's
Yeah.
like a lot of frustrations at work. And so I just was feeling myself just getting like stressed and
Oh, I can't wait to. So I just got to Katie, so now I'll be able to do a tiny bit more. But when I was down in Florida, it I have stuff and I like stopped at the grocery store and grabbed some things, but it was less intention. Like I was trying to do things without being, obvious and trying to work and stuff. So I knew when I got here. Um, let me just let Ashley in. Excuse me, ladies, one second. Isaac, are you right there? Are you right there? Your mom would like you to switch the laundry over. Thank you. She asked if you would do it now. Sorry about that, ladies. Yes, so
I
that
can't believe he's old enough to switch the laundry over.
I know how he's, oh, they're so good. They do like their laundry, but um, this is kind of exactly in the very beginning too, especially the first week, your first detox, like just to be aware enough of where you are and honor that. And like, especially with work and first time in like, kitchery, what is this stuff? What am I doing? So that's amazing. And I love the kitchery. I do. I'll have to start. Although Richard's not a fan of the smell, they always laugh. They're like, "Is that stuff going again?" But it's so nourishing. Like, and your body knows. Like once you detox a few times, like it starts to know like that this is what you want, this is what you need, and it's really quite amazing. It's Allie, you have done the full kitchery one before, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. It's very good. I love it.
yeah.
I switched it up a little today.
Ooh,
So I didn't make it with basmati and mung bean. So
What'd you do?
I made it with, I had done it a few weeks ago. I made it with oatmeal, like oats.
oh.
And I made it with dandelion greens and golden beets and asparagus and onions and carrots.
Oh my gosh, I
Like
have not tried
a
that one.
little Thai, it's like a little hug from Thailand. It's
Mm.
I put lemongrass and it's good, but I mean I
That
think
sounds amazing.
is that good? Is that because you in the thing it said you could use that as an alternative.
Anything. Yep. Anything like
So,
that, especially that's nourishing.
yeah.
Remember, using the ghee is essential if you can remember if you've purchased it or made it,
Mhm.
because that's where those herbs and spices and the dandelion and the oats and all that gets deeper into your tissue, into your cells. So it's actually, you can do it. I mean, I've done it with the red quinoa. I've done it with many the black rice instead of the white rice, like all just kind of change around, try all different aspects of like the grains or not grains, but depending on too what works for your stomach.
That works for my stomach because
Yeah.
mung beans, I don't know. I try to love them. We try to love each other. We'll come eye to eye one day.
Yeah. Well, I had a slight bit of not quite food poisoning, but food almost not poisoning, but like a severe reaction to something. And oh my gosh, it was horrible because I never get sick like that.
Mm.
Down at work and ate salmon and it was absolutely delicious. And all of a sudden I got back to the house and I'm drinking a little bit of this, just this drink thing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get ready now. And, something's going on in my stomach. And I'm like, this doesn't feel good. I tossed and turned all night. I felt like I was going to explode. It was like painful.
Mm.
All day yesterday, I was in pain. And I
Oh.
couldn't really eat anything. I was just like sipping stuff and some tea and some water. I think I tried to eat a little bit of yogurt, thinking maybe those probiotics would get in there and help. And even that was like way too heavy. I was like, oh my Lord. I don't ever feel that bad. And I felt awful.
You
And
ate
I
it when you were
pulled
in
it.
Florida or before
Mhm.
you left?
No, at Artie's house.
Oh
I
my
couldn't even
God.
go to dinner with them last night. I was like, Jill's like, you don't have to go. I was like, I really can't. I can't eat anything. I'm not. So
Yeah.
I went to bed at
Poor
like
thing.
8:15.
Oh, well, you probably needed it, believe
Yeah.
it or not.
So,
Oh goodness.
oh yeah, it was not a, see if somebody's beeping my phone. Okay, no, we're good. All right. Let's someone else will, I think other people are joining in after, but so did anyone get a chance to look at the peel your onion?
No, I did not today.
That's okay. Peel your onion is a really, really neat way to look at this. So as we begin to age from our birth all the way through, depending on what our food habits are, where we grew up, what our environment was like, who the people were that were around us, where we went to school, like just keep picturing that whole journey that you went through. And so this detox addresses this so unbelievably that you'll keep thinking of now an onion like forever, and your body will start to know, okay, one more layer needs. So an onion started as a tiny little piece, a tiny, tiny little seed, as we did. And as it grows, it puts these beautiful layers on, and it just keeps layering and layering and layering. And then as it gets up into the top, if there's too much, if it's too dry, if it's an older onion, picture all those layers on the top that are kind of corroded or old, or they could even be wet and soggy and moldy. Like anything can happen to an onion on those outer layers. They could be really dry or just picture anything that goes. So this is our bodies going through life. So we're layering on. The first couple layers are beautiful and vibrant and juicy to where they're supposed to be, and they're tightly wound, and it's really, really nicely put together. But then as the onion gets bigger and bigger and bigger, that's when decay or something, if you don't keep peeling those layers off, you never see the beauty of that onion anymore. And in Ayurveda and in Sanskrit, there's some skaras. So we're all of our habits, our daily habits, everything that we see, we eat, we touch. Picture yourself going all through school, even through college, your marriages, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, like all these things that you're taking in on a daily basis, they're adding to these layers of the onion. And they are some layers are really, really good and amazing, and it could be something joyful, it can be something very stressful, but it's all part of you. So as we get to the point in Sanskrit, there's a samskara, and these are ruts that we get into, or these are ruts that happen to us. These are bad habits. These are things that we do too much of, or in the wrong path, in the wrong direction, or against ourself. So svatsa is seated in oneself. So you start to look in these detoxes within. We're trying to get introspective. We're trying to go within rather than kind of going and always looking out. Like even things, I've said this like many times in the past, we've given our intelligence to a higher level. Like everybody knows better than us, like your boss, the doctors, teachers through school, but sometimes that's not necessarily true. Like your intuition, as we go through in Ayurveda, your koshas, your 5 layers of self, that's where your intelligence is. It really lies within you. But we start to trust that other people know better than we, and that there's other higher levels of intelligence and being. But that's not true. Only we know what is our truth, and what is our makeup, and what is best for us. And as we look at this onion year after year after year, and then we get the intelligence or come into a detox of some sort, and then you understand, I need to peel some of this onion away to get back into the inside, to see what my truth is, and what can come out of this, and how I can get out of these samskaras, these ruts that I've been pulling all through my life. Like everything that you see, hear, touch, get affected with, it all becomes you. And sometimes it's not all good stuff, and we need to get rid of it. And as you take the time to do a detox and honor yourself in this way, then you're able to slowly peel away. So your first detox, I'll never forget mine. It was like my really, really first intense detox that I felt the difference. I really felt, and at the time we weren't using the onion scenario, but you really feel like something is gone. Whatever it is, whatever your purpose was, whatever your thing was that you were trying to address, it happens, and it becomes this enlightenment, this lightness, this layer. It could be your brain, like something could just be, in your mind too much. All of us that are on computers all day long, like that's so much sensory overload. It could be coming off the winter and your body just feels heavy. So that's like the onion being kind of like too wet and soggy and kind of almost moldy on the outside. That's too much of that. And the brain or the decay, like we get the chance to start to remove it. And in the detox, we're lucky enough to have these steps and have these, a nice community of support that really helps bring us through this. And sometimes you're like, nah, I don't want to do detox. But then if you have the support, or you have a community or someone else that says, no, we're going to do it this time, you're so grateful that you did do it. And after once or twice, then your body starts to think like, oh, this is natural and normal. I'm doing this all the time. And it starts to tell you when it's time. So that's where I am in the point. Like those 2 seasonals, that's the 2 really important, are the fall and the spring. And we get to shed one more layer. That onion doesn't have to start to be that encasement of decay. We're going to undo it to where we're showing that vibrance again and that intelligence. I don't think I can pull up my iPad. It might screw up. I don't think I can screen share my, so in Ayurveda, one of the most fun things I think I learned in the very beginning of school, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know what, I won't even do it right now, was the, so our teacher, she was amazing. I'm going to see if I can find it. No, forget it. I'm on a new computer and it's giving me a hard time, so I'm not even going to try. She told us in the beginning, and I didn't understand at first because all of our cells have intelligence. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They're intelligent. Like but what happens is, so she would go up to the board and she drew these little cells. And she said, you're supposed to have one cell actually communicates to every single, like they keep telling each other the next message that needs to come. And the intelligence is supposed to free flow all the way through with no interruptions. And when it doesn't happen like that, it's because we have too much on or in our brain or in our mind, in our eyes, on our body physically. So as we gain weight and do things that is out of our normal body weight, the cells start to get like a sticky layer around them. And every single cell gets this sticky layer. Then they become unable. So the cell membrane is what actually transmits the next message to the next, to the next. And as we get to the point where it's confused, then the cell messages are not relaying the proper message and the intelligence it's supposed to. So this happens every day in and throughout our entire life, unless we go in and slow everything down, take a little bit of the computers or the people or the food or whatever it may be, caffeine, alcohol. If we take that out of the equation, it starts to remove, especially it's really, really important too, that you don't snack as much in between meals to really let the body take its time in between to do that whole detox, digestion process. Let it really, really, really get through and start to shed all of those layers in between. And if we don't, it just keeps building up and building up. And then the intelligence of our cells gets deranged. And that's when disease or certain ailments or panic, anxiety, depression, all of these things can settle in. Very bad allergies, things like that will happen because of this interrupted messaging that's supposed to go on within our body. And that's just how it's supposed to be. So this is why in detox, we do those crazy things like the stressors. So allopathic medicine is addressing the issues of like sickness or disease or ailment, where homeostasis is how the body wants to be. And when you help it by doing these detoxes, it's like taking your car for a tune-up. Like you would never skip the major tune-ups in your body, in your car, because you have the stickers up there or it's time, or then the car starts to not act correctly and you immediately know that. Well, the body gives us those same indications, just in a different way, but we're so busy, we kind of don't pay attention to them anymore. We're really not in tune to in our own bodies and minds. We're too busy either taking care of other people or doing our jobs or running through things or quick meals on the go, which makes us hungry more often because we're not sitting down and really satiating ourselves and having really quality proteins and fats and all this that the body needs. We're kind of eating these little portions throughout the day just to get by, but little by little, all those undigested food become, they say in Ayurveda, is ama. That's just built up toxins that can't leave the body. So if we add some of these crazy stressors that we do, like cold showers and fasting and detoxing or heat therapy, pushing yourself, even a little bit of exercise, and then holding yourself back on a nice calm and then exercising, all these things strengthen the body, but they also detox something in you. So sometimes maybe you're in a sauna, maybe you're out on a run like you did, Casey, and it's so relaxing. Your mind gets to go, like you're clearing those layers and you're letting them, leave you, or you're addressing them. One important thing is to address, like, whatever your why or what your reason is to go into this time here, especially in the second week, when we're not addressing the issue of food too much, because we're kind of like letting that be only nourishment, not so much, the snacks, the treats, all of these things, although there are some treats and things on there for those of us who I see your dog. So cute. So we get to see, I just said I saw the dog now. Sorry, I lost it. So these stressors actually help bring the body into that homeostasis because it's pushing us and it's making us not think so much about the food. So sometimes it's really easy what you girls are doing too. You're probably making a bigger portion of kitchery and then you're done. Like you're done for either the whole day or even 2 days. You can add a fruit in, or nuts or avocado, or your artichokes or something as a snack if you need a little nourishment or something. But even the thought of what am I going to make next, or where am I going to go get it? Like, it's so easy to just do something, and it's packed with nourishment. So as we space our meal time out, and then we fill it with all this nourishment, it can think properly and it can self-correct. So we can start getting rid of all that ama around every cell. Or again, maybe it's your ears, maybe too much stimulus in your ears or your mind, or learning to sit still. It's going to give you that support. So that's why this week is really important to push yourself. I mean, you might be hungry. I mean, it's really hard for us to be hungry as Americans. You get like, oh no, someone told me my blood sugar is going to go way down, or I was told I need to eat. But the more you push that window, the more you push a little bit, you're like, wow, I'm still alive. Nothing happened. I didn't die. I got a little nervous because I felt really hungry. But then you sip, your spicy water, or you sip your, a little bit of green juice or something, and it holds you off. But in your mind, it got you to another level. And that's what we want to do this week. We want to push ourselves a little so that the body can cleanse. And as we give it less food and longer time in between, the cells, those right now, which are very clogged and congested, they can go into apoptosis. So there's the mitochondria also have their own, it's a mitochondrial cleansing where, like when you do your cold showers and things, the body is strong enough and it actually gets rid of those. But all of those cells start to get rid of some of those layers. Hi, honey. So as we go through getting rid of the layers, then Isabella's here with me. I'm gonna say hi.
Hey.
So
Hi, Bella.
Hey.
it's Casey, and here's William. So as we push ourselves to doing the hard things, the body reacts to it in a positive way. So we have distress, which breaks our body down, and that's stress at work and relationships or doing things, you know, that we really don't really want to be doing. That those are stresses on the body. And then we have good stresses called eustress. And those are the positive stressors, which the body needs. It wants to be pushed, it wants to be challenged, but then it wants to come back and be nourished again after. So you get me with a balloon? So you might also, sometimes it has to get worse to get better too. So you might be feeling, if you were on a completely different diet, a completely different regimen of food and timing, I'll tell you one minute, then you start to change and have these really nourishing foods and holding your, you know, your time in between meals and things, the body might start to feel worse. Katie, come say hi. The body might feel worse before it feels better. Hi.
Hi, Kate.
Casey, you're going to be the face on this entire call because I put you on in the beginning and now I can't get us to, like, I keep trying to get us to the full screen, but we don't care.
Oh, lucky you guys.
That's okay. We get to see your beautiful face. Yeah, can't even. So there's a thing called a healing crisis, which Allie, you know, because this actually happened to me in the beginning of the month. I was so excited when I remembered, I put it all together what it was. But you start to feel almost sick for a little bit when your body is going into this, because there's so many toxins in your body. When you go into a detox and you really start to purge them, it can only purge so much so fast. So then there's an actual like traffic jam, literally a traffic jam. And because all of that ama is trying to leave the body, you start to feel, you might have a headache, you might have a stomach ache, you might have aches and pains. And it's truly, it's called, you know, it's a healing crisis. But then a day later or a day and a half later, you feel amazing because the body is releasing all of this out of your body. So I don't know, you might feel that, you might not. Most people feel it at least a little bit through there where they're like, oh, it must be the kitchery. That doesn't really feel good to me. Or maybe I added this, or maybe I added that. But kind of be aware of your body and see if it's something that's happening to you, if you feel like you're really purging like this on a really deep level.
And what would be like examples of like symptoms, quote unquote, you might be feeling? I don't feel anything yet, but just so I know maybe what's like expected
So I did,
or what's like abnormal.
I went about not even a month ago, and I had really jumped up my level into the kefir and these other two yogurt cultures that I'm making and the kombucha. And all of a sudden, I think I was saying even to Allie, I'm like, God, I felt like achy, and my, like, even getting up to do an exercise, like my knees felt achy and I actually had a little bit of a headache. And I'm like, God, this is so weird. And I'm trying to think, what did I do to make like my joints and everything feel really, really bizarre? And I just felt tired. And then all of a sudden I was like, holy gosh, I know exactly what it is. I'm feeling like my first healing crisis because the body was releasing all of this because of the kefir and the kombucha will really detox the body. They'll detox the liver, every organ. They'll clear out even the mind. Let's go back to the mind too in a minute. And so it's really great when you find out about a day and a half later that you weren't sick, you were having the healing crisis. Then you're so excited because you know your body went a whole layer deeper and it's like pushing it out. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty profound because it starts to open up all these pathways and they're all trying to leave. So they're all trying to get out of you in all of the, oh, you know why? Because we had just finished the sauna and I don't really sweat unless I like back as a runner and in the different, weathers working outside, I would sweat easily, but I stopped running because I wanted to have my own hips and knees later on in life. I have too many thousands of miles on my legs. So I stopped. So it takes a lot. I'm very conditioned. So it takes me a lot to get to the point where I sweat. And I was thinking like, oh, why would my joints? It was because I was also sweating out the toxins. So all of a sudden I was drinking all of this and detoxing, but then it had an explosive outlet to get off of me because the body, your entire body sweats. So it was releasing so fast. It was pretty kind of neat. It was getting rid of like everything. So you'll start to feel not quite like a flu, but sort of like a flu. Like if you know anyone that's gone into ketosis and they'll say that the keto flu, that's what it feels like. The body is changing so fast and it likes it. So it's trying to open every pathway and have this leave. So you might feel like, oh, I don't feel well today. It must be a
And
combination.
is it normal to feel like really thirsty? Like no matter how much water I'm drinking, like I
Very
find like I'm in day 2, like I did a full day yesterday, a full day today, and like I feel like I have
Yes.
cotton mouth all day. Like I can't drink enough water.
So take a little bit. So don't drink so throughout the day, if you want to have your hot water, if you're still drinking your hot water, have that separate. The body probably needs either a little bit of electrolyte or it probably needs, so a lot of people, especially now, like extreme athletes or a different level, people that are really doing high level detoxes or the saunas and all that, they make sure that they have more electrolytes available. But you can take not your hot water, but you want to put it in a warm water, about a teaspoon of honey, and sip that through the day. And it's very hydrating. So you can have a little bit of electrolyte, like your first one in the morning, your water, take some
Okay.
salt and lime and put it in it. And then the salt will help hydrate you and hold on to the water. So yeah, your cells are definitely starting to like undo, and they're taking the water to process. As we sip more water, it's pushing it out of our bodies faster. So the warmer the water, the faster the toxins can leave the body because it helps assist it. So you don't want to dehydrate yourself while you're on a detox. So
Gotcha. Yeah, and because like the official like electrolyte powder I have has stevia and has
just put some salt and lime in
natural flavors, so I didn't take that, but
it. Just do
just
salt
salt and
and
lime.
lime.
Okay.
Yep. Which is a really great.
Cool.
And you can have a little bit of coconut water.
Oh, true. Okay. I always forget about
Coconut
coconut
water
water.
is very high in electrolytes. So let's go to the mind. So along with detoxing, one major portion that we are, as a society, completely eliminating from our life is, so you know how we have our lymphatic system and we do our dry brushing, purposely through our detoxes, more so than we remember to do during the year. So at least we do that then. So you're pulling those toxins, helping them get into the pathways that are leaving, like getting out of the body. But they found probably only about 10 years ago, really confirmed it. Ayurveda and all Eastern medicine has known it, 5,000 years ago. But the brain also detoxes, and it only detoxes one time a day, and it's at night while it's not digesting food. So when you go to sleep at night, why most Eastern philosophies will say, don't go to sleep on a full stomach, don't eat 2 or 3 hours before bed, because all of these, everything, all the stimulus that happens to us during the day, or even just watching a freaky movie at night, or you're fighting with someone, like all of this stress that's going on, it's held in your mind. Or if your day was really busy, super stressful, or just packed with work or things that go on, your brain holds on to it. And the only time it's going to detox, it's called the lymphatic system. And it's this crazy phenomenon that happens where the brain actually softens down in its pathway up in here. And it's a lymphatic drainage system called the lymphatic system, and it flushes the brain out. And it literally joins in and goes into the lymphatic system and goes. But if you're digesting food, it doesn't happen that night. So then it can happen till the next night. So people you know or yourself that are those chronic, like have that snack before dinner or something, excuse me, before bed, you're impairing that major cleaning system that's supposed to happen every night. Your brain doesn't want to hold on to that until morning, because once it keeps it until morning, guess what? You're carrying it through the whole next day with you. And if you do it again tomorrow, it's coming through. So that's a whole nother reason why people get in a funk, or they have, sometimes it adds to, if you already have like depression or a very anxious time of your life or something like that. If you're not allowing your brain to get rid of that every single night, it just builds up and builds up and builds up. So this is another layer of that onion. Like it has to, you have to honor it. We all have to have parties or certain things where we're just up and it's late, and it's 10 or 11, that's okay. But when you do it day after day, year after year, your brain is holding on to this constantly and it does not release it. So now science has gotten to the point where it physically can attach, electrodes and different things to your mind, and they can actually see it now. And it will only happen when you physically like lay down and go to sleep without digesting anything. And then it flushes out. So it's pretty neat that Eastern medicine knew it 5,000 or 7,000 years ago, but now we can prove it. Like crazy things like the koshas, the different layers, your aura. They're like, yeah, all that crazy yoga guru-y stuff. But now there are machines that show us our aura. It's your energy field, but your energy field affects the next person's energy field and the next person. So who are you with all day long? Who's affecting your, Allie, I'm not thinking of you. Who is affecting your aura, your energy field all day long? Like you're spreading the good to someone, hopefully, but other people's energies are coming into yours constantly as well as your microbiome. Like as we're doing all these great things for us, you're sharing that with someone else all day long, even people you're passing by. And also being conscious of that during the cleanse is really pretty cool too, because the more and more you're aware of what's really going on in your body, your mind, and that sheath and that aura, because now science has proven, all right, you crazy guru-y, crazy wackos, you're right. This really is all true. So, and the microbiome, do you know, if you know someone that's not as healthy as you are, and if you kiss them, a whole real mouth kiss, for 10 seconds, they get enough of your microbiome to help them become more healthy. So if you know someone, a relationship maybe you're in, that'd be the best thing. And you could actually kiss them for 10 minutes and they might need your help. They might need your microbiome if it's stronger. 10-second kiss can actually pass enough on to them to actually help. Or, sorry, you're getting theirs too. So you need to do some better things like detox. But so all these crazy things that have been looked upon as weird or out there are now slowly becoming the norm, or oh, guess what? That's really kind of good for us. So through this week, the less food that's in the way and the food prep and all that goes on to our mind, we get to pay attention to inside of ourselves. Just keep picturing that onion. And this year, we're going to take one whole layer off. And then maybe in the fall, we're going to take another layer off. So the equinox and the solstice is called in Ayurveda, there's 2 rhythms that we live by. And I think you all are aware of dinacharya. So that's the daily rhythm. That's your circadian rhythm. Those are the habits we keep on that 24-hour cycle. And then there's a seasonal, it's called ritucharya. So we'll do the cleanses, and then there's, we could just do challenges like on the equinoxes and the solstice. So those are important times to let these things go in our bodies. But ritucharya is pretty fascinating because we can be in another country, we can be anywhere on the world in a different time or day, but where we live, if we pay attention to an entire rotation around the sun and we listen to what's going on in our body or around us, things really, really change and your diet should change. You know, what you eat at what times during the year really affects who and what you are inside. So if you can try to be more aware of the dinacharya, your daily habits, which are very important this main next week, and then the ritucharya, you're doing it at a huge major juncture in the season, the whole once around the sun. So this week, do you have any questions on food, or is anyone going to do the fast mimicking diet? Does anyone want to do the liver cleanse? I don't know if I'm going to do the liver. I might not be able to fit the liver cleanse in this time. I might have to wait. There's another great time to do liver cleanse is in July, in the heat of the summer. That's when the liver holds most of its toxins, is in that heat time. So the liver cleanse is really great to do in July. But I'm
What's
going.
the what
liver
constitutes? Yeah, what's the liver cleanse again?
The liver cleanse is really fantastic. And actually, Casey, if I were you, I absolutely would do this. I can walk you through it if you want to do it next week or even a week after, but you can do it in July. It is, so the liver actually has stones, just like the gall has, you know, all the stones in the gallbladder. You have gallstones and all those extra stones. We all have them. So you could think you are the most fit, abiding by every law, that, but your liver still has stones in it. It's all these little bile stones that it slowly gets rid of. But when there's too many being released, all of our little bile ducts in the liver get completely junked up with literally little stones. And as you go through, it's really simple. You just drink like the cherry tart juice, and for like 5 days, you just do these few things. And then on the 5th day, you have to be able to have access to the bathroom.
I have that actually. I take it for sleep.
Oh, so
okay.
it's a combination of loosening all of the tissue so that you loosen, and you do it at particular times. And then on the last one, the last night, you do this flush. And in the morning, it's really pretty cool. If you want to, you take a strainer and you actually see, and you're like, holy shit, that was inside of me.
Wow.
And then you do, and as you do it more and more, I mean, I have pictures. I'm going to share the pictures because right now I'm on a different computer, but from people within our group, and they take a white piece of paper, and because we don't care, because we're all doing it, and they're like, this was inside of me.
Wow.
And if you clean it out, then the liver can do its job better on a daily basis all the time. And the gallstones, Casey, as well, don't build up. You don't form the gallstones.
That's so interesting. I would love to do that. Yeah, I still swear by that stuff that I'm taking, that like Ayurvedic, like whatever juice kind of stuff. I have not had them since August, and I was having them like every
That's
week.
amazing.
It's crazy.
I have a
That's
whole
so cool that it worked.
in my little ebooks and things. I have a whole the liver flush. So I'll share.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
I'll share
Especially
it.
just like again with the like I feel like I was just in like a season of just like a lot of drinking and
Mhm.
falling off of stuff. Like I feel like probably agree either now or like you said in July.
Only handles so much, and little by little, it's going to keep depositing these extra little bile chunks, and they literally are like little stones, and they're these wacky little green crazy things.
Yeah, because I know like I've done like a month, like 3 times now, just a full month, and I mean it's like not like I'm like a full like alcoholic, but like I feel
You're
it
at the
in
age where
me.
I'm sure I drank a lot at your age too, because that's what we did.
Yeah, I feel like I know I have to because I literally feel it in my like my organs. I truly feel like all my organs telling me it's time. So it's probably partially like what you're explaining too.
And you also said you were feeling like just very like heavy, but like just dull, and everything was sticky. That's exactly what's happening inside. So as we discussed in the beginning, the cells start to get this coating around them, and it gets bigger and bigger. So all the cells, then all the tissue. And then some people literally, it's called the organ, because now they're, in their 50s, 60s, or 70s. And like you'll see some people with a pretty hard belly. There's no room between any of the organs anymore. It has completely solidified.
Wow.
It's really awful. So another thing, just because this goes with it, when you're doing your Ambhyanga, if you're doing it, so you're going to do your morning, if you do your dry brush, and then you do your Ambhyanga, which is the oil rub, which is so soothing. And it really, just touching your own muscle and like moving your skin will also help do the lymphatic drainage. But as you're doing, after you do, wait, do you lymphatic and then what's it where, what was I just gonna, there was a third part. What's the third part?
Mhm.
All right, let me think of it a second. I'll come back. Darn it, that had a real good purpose.
Mhm.
Circulating the motion that you go in to do the to do it. Is that what you were thinking?
Oh, wait, I was saying when we do the, oh, yes, thank you. Not only that, so we're doing our Ambianga, like you're going to do that and you're going to come up, especially in the morning. If you want to do it at night before bed, always brush down. That takes spot, that puts, that grounds you. So that brings the energy back in and calms you at night. But in the morning, we're going to go up. We're going to get that lymphatic system and we're kind of wake ourselves up. But it's really important. We're kind of afraid to push hard on our abdomen because we probably know all of our organs are in there, but it's really important to do that. So like when you're, let me see here. So when you're like rubbing, so you'll go up here and then up here, but when you get to your abdomen, like you want to do like up and across, always on your colon. So this helps drain. If you have like everybody see, you have a baby and you do when they have gas, you do I love you. And that's just a little thing to do to get their, the colon, get the gas out of their colon. But when you're doing your Abhyanga, like feel in between, like rub it, move the organs kind of around so that they have their own space. Like it's not going to hurt. And a lot of times here in the diaphragm that's underneath the rib cages, it's very hard, but it's not supposed to be. So, like when you're massaging a horse and you get up under their collarbone and sometimes it's really hard in there and you're trying to undo it. It's the same thing under here. Separate that a little bit. It almost takes your wind out a second, but the more you do it, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be able to like move around in there. And the more we are built up with toxins and the more we have not addressed our own physical body, the tighter all of that gets. And that's when that cellular intelligence can't move through properly. And then that's when the organs start to get dysfunctional as well. Like they're supposed to be massaged or they're supposed to be like more supple in there rather than hard and firm. Like you want your abs, of course, like you got to build that up. That's protection. But inside, so when you relax, like really massage your abdomen. Don't be afraid, like, don't do it so hard that you feel like you bruised yourself, but move things around and don't be afraid to do it. You can lay down too. Sometimes it feels better. You feel more secure when you're laying down because it has a little bit of space, but I do encourage you doing that. Any questions? FMD or the liver. So the FMD I'm going to do, and like I said, I ordered the Prolong, but I can't do mine until I get home on Monday. So I'm going to be a couple days behind you guys, but I'm going to do the Kitchery or whatever soups or things that I want to do, green juices and stuff until I get home on Monday. And then I'm going to start. So, and I've only done my FMDs, my own food, which is super simple, but I've never done the Prolong. So what the hell, I'm going to try the Prolong. But that's when you get into not only autophagy, which is the self-cleaning of the cells, which is supposed to happen the 12 hours at night when we're not eating. If you push it to like 13, even at 13, you start to get into autophagy, where the cells are so intelligent that it's actually called self-eating. Like it knows to get rid of these cells and you're no longer going to serve us, we're going to get rid of you. And then if you're giving it that pathway in the detox, then it leaves the body. So as we're eating all the time, the cells can't do that. They can't get rid. So all the dead cells that have no more intelligence left in them, they're kind of like a zombie cell. They just stay in your body. So the less you snack, and then at least 12, and then that 13 is like the golden hour. But as you do an FMD, it's tricking your body into thinking it's fasting, but it's giving it enough fat, a little bit, tiny bit of carbohydrate, and then a little tiny bit of protein. So it believes that it's fasting. So it goes into this major cleanse where it actually goes into apoptosis. And that's when the cells actually, they know not only go into this cleansing, like this self-eating, they regenerate and they actually pull in and then they leave. And then it actually starts to address disease. Like you can have organ diseases or blood diseases, diabetes, like different things like that. It actually goes in and cleans the pathways. When your body's in a fast, it knows to clean, but it also knows it's got to go find some fuel. So it's going to start grabbing where it can and using it as fuel to detox the body or to feed the body or to fuel the body. So apoptosis is pretty darn neat. And when you do the 5-day, the FMD, it goes into that state. And it's really not that difficult. I thought the first time I was like, oh, I don't know if I can only eat that much, but you can. Like you're not going to die. And it's pretty cool because you feel this deeper level. That's it's pretty rewarding when you're done with it. You're like, that really wasn't hard. And I mean, when we were hunter gatherers and back in the primal days, we didn't fast because it was called fasting. You didn't fast because you didn't find an animal to kill. There wasn't enough food in between. So the body was naturally in these rhythms of like feasting and fasting. That's how our bodies were put on this earth biologically, not to eat all the time. Like we weren't supposed to be able to go through Starbucks at 2 a.m. or the diner. And, as we all did in college at 3 a.m. or, basically you're supposed to be able to find your food, eat all this nourishment, and then have to wait until you found it again. So the body was genetically programmed to feast and fast. So doing a cleanse, you're really, really giving yourself this amazing jump start on just a better life, better organs, better blood flow, like migraines, things like that you need to address. They do get addressed and they start to get less. Like it's not all going to happen 1 week this week, but then if you do it again next, in the fall, then you do it again in the spring, and then maybe you do an FMD in July or a liver cleanse, and do again one in the winter. The body starts to crave that. Like your internal clock goes off and you're like, I just don't want to eat any more winter food. I'm done. I've had enough. Like, I don't even want that anymore. Like you internally get these cues that it's time to do something. So that being said, this coming week, be more conscious of what your layer of your onion, like what is it that you're trying to peel away? Is it your mind? Is something in your spirit is lacking or missing? Or is it just the opposite? Is it nourishment? Do you need to give yourself more of something? You can come in, honey. Or are you having too much of something and you need to give away? You need to take away, like find what it is for you in this week and go deep. Casey, you got to go for a walk after work. Like try to go out in nature more if you can, like whatever it is, like go outside and breathe that fresh air or, see the sunlight, just take a break. We're also wrapped up in, if we're at work or whatever, we can't leave and do something. But if you just take a little step outside, even for 10 minutes, it's an amazing boost, especially because your eyes are supposed to look like far away and close. But also sometimes just giving yourself that little bit of exercise. Say you've been in an exercise slump and you haven't been able to do it. If you exercise where you're not like, killing yourself, it makes you feel better. Like it's also going to give you those, what, sweetheart?
You smell good.
I smell good. That Dee Dee smells good.
So cute.
So you're giving yourself a gift also. So I wouldn't, if you're really decreasing, especially if anyone does the FMD next week, I wouldn't push myself in an exercise, but I would still flow or move like in something. So
You bring
My
your
favorite thing. Oh, what'd you say, sweetie? Go ahead.
I didn't bring my tablet. They love when I have a little iPad and it's a tiny one that they always know I'm bringing it. And I forgot it because I had to go to work first.
Oh,
Okay.
bummer.
Look who's on that one.
Be quiet. Shh. No barking.
So what we can say, Ash?
Oh no, I was gonna say something about this time of year. Like it's funny that you said that about like your body starting to like crave the cleanse, like because I didn't do it when I was pregnant, obviously, but like I did it the year before that, and then last year I did it more gently because I was like still like breastfeeding and stuff. But like I was starting to crave it like so much already. Like the sun was coming up and like you like could step outside, we could just like feel the energy shifting that
Yes.
like you're like, it's time. And it's funny, like I've been trying to remember the mornings and it's hard. Like when you're in like a workout routine and like you're in your groove to just like stop for the cleanse and just like do something different. Like in the morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to work out, I want to do this. But like this morning I went outside with my tea and just like sat outside, just like felt the energy. Because I was up really early, which is like weird. I was up at 5:45, like just for no reason. And I'm like sitting outside and it was just like that one thing for me just like sets my tone for the like it
That's
really
amazing.
changes. That's like the one thing because I'm not always naturally a morning person and like for some reason this time of year my brain just like craves that early morning energy. Sort of
Uh,
weird, but
I love that. I was always, I mean, I've been up at 5 my whole life almost, even all
Do you
through.
have any shoes on this one?
I'll show you later. Okay.
Can you do it
Even in
now?
high school and college, I was like, even staying out late or whatever, I still was up at like 5, either running with someone or doing. So my days, my entire life were get up and go. And I think I've said before on different, it was really hard for me to get up and do what you did, Ashley, like through one of my first times, probably, I don't know if I was in a
How old was that?
boot camp or something, or in a in school, and we had to like get up and do that exact same thing, like sit with our tea or something. And I was like, okay. And I forgot to do this.
Ella, did you just ask how old I am?
What?
No, I have a
Did you
picture
ask
of
how
her.
old I am?
No, I have to be careful. My screensavers are Isabella almost on every screensaver. And so she's looking, this one, you're like 4 years old. So my screensaver, she just touched another one and it's her at like 4.
So cute.
Do you remember Ashley? You haven't seen Ashley in a long time, huh?
When would I
I
see?
know, it's so sad.
Where does she?
I wish I could see you more frequently.
I know.
I
We're
live
gonna
up in
have to start having
Boston, and
summer reunions, right? Everybody together for a summer reunion. But
I think
seriously, or more FaceTime dates at the very least.
so I have these guys when I get to come here, and I'm lucky enough to come here. Especially the little 2 ones will wake up early with us. And if I get up before them, I can still get up and do my yoga or do whatever. It's that get up and go again. But when I'm here and they wake up, even since they were like this big, now they like want to stretch with me, or they want to sit and do yoga, or they want to sit and do something. And it's so wonderful to get up in the morning and not get up and go right away, like the mind, like to shift gears, like just totally shift gears and say, yeah, let's just sit on the floor, read a book, have a cup of tea. So if that,
It's so impactful. Like I'm trying that so hard with Chloe. Like in the morning, I go in quietly and I leave the lights down and we just like quietly talk and like ease into our day. And it's like to me, just there's nothing worse than like an alarm blaring in your face or someone like yelling at you to wake up. And I'm like, I want that just to be like a part of her DNA. Like she
yeah,
just wakes up peacefully and like that's just, you know, how it is.
yeah, and it will change her life, because that will be her routine. She'll pass that on, or she'll keep that going, because now that's how she does it. Like she wakes
Fingers
up
crossed.
now quietly and softly, and
How old are you?
she is your mommy's age.
How old am I?
Yep, she's a little
I'm
bit
older
than
than
your mommy.
mommy. Yeah, I look funny. I just washed my face
This is Ashley.
and I
That's
put a lot of lotion on. I'm very shiny.
You know how you have cousins?
Yeah.
That's your mommy's cousin.
We grew up together. I knew your
That's-
mommy since the day
That's
she
my
was
big
born.
brother's daughter.
Yeah, but
My big brother's daughter.
Yeah, your mommy is one of my favorite people in the whole world. She's so special. I've
I'm
known
so
her
lucky.
forever. Even though I don't see her all the time, I love her so much.
Yeah, this one loves me too. So I'm very lucky. So anyone have any questions this week? Anything that they
Yes.
need to go deeper on, or anything
Yes,
they don't want to
I
go deep on, or any food variations of something, or
Yeah,
So just the FMD. So if we're not gonna actually buy the like food,
the
like
Prolon?
is there something that we could follow?
Mhm.
Yeah, if we're not going to purchase, is there like a what we should do, just like cook
If
our
you
own?
go to that, to our program that we have, right in the beginning, middle section, there's FMD tip sheet in there.
Okay.
And then I also have many sheets on like the actual food items I purchased last year. Like if you
Okay.
go to like Trader Joe's or something, they have like the olives and the artichokes. And then there are, what's the name of them? There's these Artichokes. Yep. There's these crackers, these rye crackers that have like nothing else in them.
This
And
one
those
is
can be
Oh,
your,
wow.
like, that can be your kind of a little staple. There's a few other things.
Okay. I might just buy it wasn't that expensive. I just will have to do it
I
soon.
think,
Like, I think I'm going to do the,
yeah, the sale one, because when I first started going in and learning about the FMD, his weekly plan, the 5 days, was $500. And now
Oh
it's,
my
like, I
God.
think it's only like 175, right?
yep, now it's down and it's on sale. And I think I have the link in there for Amazon. But you get like a little soup,
Okay.
Yeah, I got this
pack, and you get you get stuff to eat for the 5 days. It's just pretty funny. It's like these bars but it's supposed to also set your mindset that you don't have to eat all the time. Keep drinking your water,
Right.
go take a walk around the block if you really feel like, oh no, I have to eat. Because sometimes,
But Casey, it's gonna be so good for you too, because you're so busy and you're
Mhm.
being pulled in so many directions. Like opening up a box and just like cracking something open might be like really freeing to not have to deal with it for a couple
Yeah,
days.
no,
You know?
absolutely. I think I'm probably just gonna end up buying it. I just wanted to like, compare
Yeah.
everything.
I'll send you the food item list for an FMD. Is it has the only thing is if you do the food end and you really want your body to be in a 5-day fast, you have to adhere to the food because it's micronutrients within them and like the macro, but then you'll see there's tons of these food items things and they all have, it's not really like Weight Watchers points, but they all have a particular profile. Actually, I think I sent out a sample menu for a week or for a day, rather. I'll find out because I know I did. I actually know I have a whole sheet on a
Okay.
typical day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and you can even have a snack. But that's the one where you.
And now, Anta, what is like that doing as opposed to this, like just doing kitchery? Like I'm going to do the kitchery for 4 days, lunch and dinner, like very little in between. Like what is the FMD doing versus the kitchery that I'm doing now?
It's completely different because you start off the first day, you're down, you take off, call it a third of your calories. So say we'll go back to the 2000 calorie a day. You're going to cut back the first day, you're only going to have 800 to 1200 calories. And that's really not that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, though, for day 2, 3, 4, 5, you're only going to have 500 to 700 calories, depending on if you're a guy or a girl or you need a little specific. I think I did it just in the wintertime. 2 of the days, at least, I only had like 500 calories and I wasn't hungry. Like it wasn't too much of a hard deal.
Right. Especially if you're not like doing that.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. I did not push hard workouts or anything. I think I just walked around at work, like at the farm or something. Like that was probably my exercise for the day. But this whole group is very similar too. So even the girls that are going to have to listen to the recording, we're always challenging ourselves. Like if you've done this or you feel a level or a layer here, you're like, I can push it one more, or I can do that. And then once you even get to like that one next step, I can do one more. Like instead of being fearful, you're challenging, which I find this group is all doing that constantly. Like, so you will find where if you get to the point where you have done a little bit more this week, even if it's kitchery and soup and greens or green juices, Zoom, yes. And you feel like you're hungry, try not to give in. Try to just have a little bit of your water or your CCFT or something like that and see, because as you get deeper in, it's not only an accomplishment for your mind, so that when you do it next time, it's going to be so much easier, but your body actually gets to benefit that much deeper. So food just gets in the way. You're going to find that food, as you go through this year after year, and even like day after day, going through even the summer, you're like, I can't believe how much food I used to eat. I mean, all you ladies know me. I used to eat a ton of food all the time, but I was so active, you wouldn't know that. But my body didn't need all that food. I was actually doing it, a disservice. That's Allie, Allie. So it's you get to the mindset where you're like, oh my gosh, I used to eat all that. And all of our liquid calories, oh my gosh, now as a society, every one of our juices and our Starbucks and our macchiato so-and-sos and our chai lattes and stuff, you make it at home, it has like no ingredients. You go purchase it at a store or, something like that, you think about that for one day or 1 week, how many extra liquid calories of false calories, because they're really not intelligent. I mean, I look forward to it on certain times, like those crazy, wonderful coffee drinks when I come down to visit my girls. So Miranda or Katie, that's like a special thing that I've been doing since like they probably just started drinking coffee. It would be like, that's enjoyment. But people do it sometimes 2 or 3 times a day.
Mhm.
And all of their juices and drinks and all that have all those extra sugars in it, or even the ones that have the artificial sweeteners. That's not real ingredients for the body. So it has to think about what it's doing, and it's actually harder. So you think you're having less calories, but you're confusing the body. I have the whole crew here now. Oh, we're missing one.
Ian?
So as you,
Is it Isaac? Whose half face is that?
this is William.
Oh,
Half-
hi, William. I couldn't tell by the half face.
What is in your house?
That's your aunt cousin Casey.
Hi,
Hey
guys.
guys.
This is your aunt cousin.
Mhm. That's your mommy's cousin too.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Sisters.
And we're
Yeah.
sisters, yeah.
Yeah, Ashley and
they're-
Casey, we're sisters.
They're sisters. So they're your mommy's cousins.
uh,
Yep. They all grew up together nonstop, day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Aunt Maureen. Got the whole crew here.
and here's the other.
And then that's Allie, Allie from the farm. And actually,
Hi.
Allie, have you babysat any of them? Or just Miranda's little ones?
Just Miranda's. And just Savannah.
Oh, just Savannah, right. Wait till you see
Yeah.
what a crack up.
Can I try?
No, don't. Let him try. Let him finish. So it's getting a little crowded in here, but any food, like any questions or any direction, like what I'm going to be checking in a lot.
That's a cool.
I have just one little
Yeah.
direction question. Can I still keep doing the like 11 o'clock kefir and banana and cinnamon mix? Or no banana?
Well, the kefir. So
Or no kefir?
no. I'm going to switch over. So if you want to try a kefir with the coconut, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to switch out of the dairy.
Okay.
And then I was thinking of doing one day where you actually just do kefir and you water it down like 50 kefir, 50 water. So you're getting probiotics and you're getting the fat from
How do
the
we do that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, because I
can you
got
walk us
those
through
simple
that one?
ones that you told me to get.
So it's
Is that
really,
what
I
really
don't know if I
good.
did either.
It keeps changing.
So the
It's
kefir,
actually not bad.
yeah, the kefir with the coconut is so delicious. You feel like you're drinking a snack, like you think it should be bad for you.
Okay, this one
Can
is
you link us to
good
that
at
one?
Which one is
This
this?
Forager project. I went to Whole Foods and it's like, again, just interesting when you just really focus on labels. Like
Yeah.
they had the strawberry one and the
Yes,
mango.
you
and
don't
it
want to
was
have those.
10 grams of added sugar per serving. And I was like, okay. But I took a sip of this and I was like, whoa, okay. So I was actually going to ask you like how and when we should be incorporating this.
So this week, if you can, I wouldn't have a lot of that unless you're going to do like a one full day of like a kefir, just kefir. And that does a lot for the body too, because you're giving it probiotics and fat. So that's really, really good. I'm probably going to try to do that. I'm going to use, so when you make the kefir in the coconut, it's so simple. You get a can of coconut, like the coconut milk. And if you have the easy kefir, Maureen, you have that, right? The packet.
Yes, thank
So
you.
you just mix up the coconut can. I added a little bit water because it was really thick.
hmm
1 or 2 in the quart jar. I add a little bit of water and then your easy kefir and you really stir, stir, stir. And I don't think I even used the immersion blender that time. I think I just really kind of mixed it up. And then you put it on the counter just like you do at your kefir. And then you can add vanilla. And then for Kevin, I added a tiny bit of maple
Ooh.
syrup. But
And vanilla.
oh,
I know.
a
Where do you
vanilla-
get easy kefir? I want to try to make that. Where do you get the easy
Those-
kefir?
It was on
from?
Amazon.
it's right on Amazon. I have it. I think I have a link for it on my website too, but right on Amazon.
Amazon.
And the Culture for Life and the
Do you
other
want me
one.
to pull it up and send it to them? Like send it in here
Yeah,
in the
that'd be
chat?
great.
Yeah. let me do
Or
that.
even in our text if you could, Mo. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, honey, I'll do it. Because it's actually, I was really surprised and I was afraid when I went to first drink and I'm like, this isn't bad.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I can do
And,
this.
and the regular kefir. So I've been doing the whole milk, and then I only tried it with the whole milk and the 2%. I haven't tried it, and the goat milk is delicious. It's just thinner. but I do like the goat milk too, a lot. I probably do the goat milk more than I do the others.
Nanteb, how about the kombucha? So I like just had some today. Like I sipped on it. It was like almost. I love kombucha, so to me it was like almost like a little treat while I was just
Yeah.
like click clacking away at work. Is that still okay?
Yes, I would definitely incorporate a little bit. I wouldn't drink probably, if you can find the plain one. Sometimes they
It's
don't
the
have the plain.
ginger one. The
Ginger, you
ginger.
said ginger lemon. Yeah, the
Yeah.
ginger lemon I've been having.
Is
I
it normally filled with
Wait.
sugar? Like the one that I got at the store. Oh, sorry. The one that I got at the store, I had to like dump it out. It was like so much sugar. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't realize
If
it
I
had
was-
so much sugar.
If I was going to buy it from the store, I would only like, especially during the cleanse week, I would only buy the GT Synergy. It's
This
the
one,
only-
right?
Yes, this is the only one that is really like the way kombucha is made, and it shows sugar
Okay,
on there
cool.
because it has to detect that
Thanks, Case.
it's made with sugar.
This actually, this
Jesus.
whole big thing is from Whole Foods. This
Mhm.
was like $8 versus
I
the
have that too. Yeah.
yeah, the single
my
serve was
gosh.
like $4.50. So get this one, and it says a serving is 16 fluid ounces. Like, what would you recommend?
I would only during the cleanse, so I would do like maybe 2 ounces in the morning,
No, I can.
2 ounces in the afternoon, and 2 ounces at night because you're getting the
Probably what I
probiotics.
did.
Okay.
But you don't want to. Okay, guys.
I sent it. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Allie's
Got it.
babysitting one of my kombuchas at home. I have one at work going, and then I have 2 others that I made at home. I did the second ferment. They're fine. Oh no, they're talking to everybody. And I have one a lemon ginger going. Actually, I already started drinking it, and cranberry lime. Oh my gosh! So if anybody wants to try to make them after, it's really
Cranberry
fun.
sounds so good.
Yeah.
I
it's
know.
really
Send
good.
that recipe. We need that recipe. That one sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
You can buy the scobies too anywhere. So that's the starter, what they call a mushroom or your baby or whatever. And then you just need the big gallon jug of some sort. And I bought the little heating pad to keep it because my house is very erratic. It's either warm or
That's
cold.
so funny.
I know
A
it's
heating
really
pad for your kombucha. Oh my gosh,
I
that's
know.
terrible.
Allie's watching it for me now, so it's in good hands. It's being babysat.
So if we're doing the kombucha, should we also then not be doing the kefir, or should we save should I save my coconut almond kefir for next week?
For this week, yeah, I would wait for the kefir because it is very thick. So I'm actually not going to have any kefir this week unless I do a full like a 1-day kefir where it's kefir and water because
Gotcha.
then it's just fat and probiotics.
Gotcha. Okay.
What about, can I still do the olive oil or no?
But you just froze. Do what?
Can I still do the olive oil in the morning?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you want more fats, less
Yeah.
filler. So
Right.
less of all the other stuff and more fats. Because that also hydrates the body and it helps gets things, going, and it
Oh,
feeds the brain. So
I was craving olive oil today. That's so weird.
it's
I
so,
crave it every day now. It is crazy.
yeah.
Wait,
thought
what
it
are
was
we
the
doing
strangest
with olive
thing.
oil?
I didn't know
What
we
are
were doing anything with olive oil,
Me
and I just
either.
was craving it, and I like sprinkled it on my kid because my body was like, "Give me olive oil." I don't know why. It's so weird.
So all the polyphenols and the fat in the body, I mean, in the olive oils and even the avocado oil, if you want, the coconut oil, those are amazing, healthy fats for the body. And they help lubricate and they actually help pull things apart. And then they
Mhm.
feed the brain. So as you're going through this, it's amazing. It's, basically the only thing, the brain food is fat. The brain needs fat. So through the 80s and 90s, when we were all killed with the no fat, low
Yeah.
fat everything,
Yeah.
gosh, our brains must have shrunk 2%, like because we weren't feeding our brains.
And guys, I'll tell you, like I just do 2 tablespoons every morning. And I'm so used to it now. It's I get up in the morning and before I ever even think of coffee after 9 o'clock, but that's my habit. I go shake my can. I get it from a farm in Sorrento, sent straight to here.
Amazing.
Wow.
And it's so good, but it's like everybody looks at me like that's disgusting. I'm like, no, it's delicious, but it also helps to not, I don't know, I'm not hungry when, I'm not as hungry as I used to be just doing that.
And what
Just
Having a
time
getting
bulletproof-
when
do you
It's
break
having
your
a bulletproof
fast
coffee
now?
without.
I do. I break my fast about 9 o'clock with that.
with that. Okay. And then what do
Yeah.
you do
See, I
from
eat
there?
dinner at 5, guys, so I'm like, I'm old.
You're ready.
No,
I
it's just
do
helpful
too.
for me to know like what people are doing and when, just because I'm a newbie. So
Yeah.
like I've just been doing my green juice at like 11ish.
Mhm.
And that's like how I'm breaking my fast. And then I just like have lunch from there, what kind of whenever, like 12, whatever, 12.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
what I'm doing too. How does
Yeah.
that work?
That's perfect. And they're breaking your fast with either fat, because we're not having a ton of protein during this fasting
Right.
5 days, 7 days. So with fat, but green juices is also especially really good. Pure, juices are very nourishing for the body. It's like giving the body like this boost of extra nutrients because you've taken it, and fiber, believe it or not, all that you think you're only getting the juice, but you're getting fiber for your microbiome. That's what they eat. So as you're doing your green juices, it's amazing for the body. And pineapple has an enzyme in it. Your berries have the polyphenols in them. Like, so adding different things like that to a green juice is also beneficial.
So I'm doing my AG1s. That's what I'm doing. So we said that's okay, right?
Yep, exactly. So you could take your
Okay,
AG1
Good.
and
Then I
you
feel
could
like I'm
put a tablespoon of ghee in it, or a tablespoon of olive oil in it, or
Yeah, there you go.
And remember when we did the ghee, like the tablespoons of ghee when I was really deep trying to get pregnant,
Yes.
and I'm like, oh my God, it was torture, but I'm like, it's working. Like,
Did you do
it
the
was just,
ghee and the trifala, or just the ghee? The ghee and the trifala,
I
right?
just did like the literal spoonful of ghee. Remember, I would like coat my tongue in honey and like put some lemon and then just like shove it down. It was so nasty.
And I think
But I
you
think
and
it
I
worked.
got up to
We
like
got
5
close.
tablespoons.
Yeah, we got 5 tablespoons. It was
Yeah,
freaking nasty, but
that was a competition of but
oh
it's
my God, it was so hard.
but it
Yeah.
gets so deep. Ghee is a smaller molecule, so it can penetrate the layers. It can penetrate into the cells deeper than any of the other fats. They're much bigger molecules. So ghee
My
is,
why back then was so strong, Aunt Deb. I could do anything because I could
oh yeah,
picture Chloe's face. I
yes,
literally knew her, and so like I was like, whatever, I can shove a freaking jar of this nasty ghee down. I'll do it. I was a savage that year.
yes.
I remember. Yeah.
I know. It was so funny, Mo, when you popped up on the screen, I got a little emotional because like just seeing your face reminds me of that like time of life and how important you were. So I love
Oh
you.
my God. I know. I love you guys. And yeah, this is wonderful.
It's a
Yes.
great group. We have a good
It
group
is.
this time. I feel like we got to keep this going. We got to find like other things to and to
Oh,
have
we
like
do.
more sessions to do together.
Oh yeah, we have.
even like maybe like monthly check-ins, like or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I'm actually
So-
starting, the monthly membership, and getting into cultured food is it's going to elevate your body to a level like that you didn't know, because that's what
Yeah.
that's what produces that diverse microbiome, which is really
I
there
think,
to
yeah.
energize everything. It's just a completely different level.
I'm staring at the kimchi on my counter every day and I just can't do it. I'm like, kombucha is good for me for now.
You don't have to do the kimchi.
No.
You'll get to that point. Cultured vegetables, but there's a
Same
difference between like
Colton likes
sauerkraut
it.
and then the cultured vegetables. So when you add the culture, you actually are adding more probiotics, like a lot.
Mm.
So,
Right.
Allie, are you feeling the difference doing the mic, like doing the different cultured foods and things, the kefir?
100%.
Yeah, you can tell
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Physically, you're even changing. Like, and
Yeah. Well,
emotionally,
I feel it. Well, I mean, I went through everything that you said too. You know, my joints went to a really painful place. Everything hurt on me and my stomach was in distress, but now I kind of turned the corner on all of that. And one, I crave it. It's kind of part of the tastes, like, you like sweet, salty. Like
Yes.
I like fermented. I don't know.
I do
It's my
too.
Yeah, so I try to put it in as much as I can. I mean, even if I'm gonna eat bread, I'll go for sourdough.
Yes.
Because
Oh yeah.
Oh
me
my God, me too.
Yep.
That's the only thing I make is sourdough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I found sour crackers at one point. I'm like, oh, for Pete's sakes, everything I love, they turn it into even something more. But yes, I definitely noticed a difference. And I'm yeah, that's why I'm kind of sad about not doing the kefir, but I get it. I'll be fine. I'll figure out something else in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll do
Just do your sauerkraut, kimchi, different things like that for the week.
Okay.
And Deb, when we're not doing our cleanse, I have to bring you to this, it's funny, it's a brewery, but it's a really, really good restaurant as well. And all their food is made by Tallulah's in Asbury. All of their bread products are sourdough made in house. They have like my favorite. I think I was telling you about the vegan Caesar dressing that like I need to share with this crew. It's like they have some cashew cheese Parmesan quote unquote in it, but it's like mustard and caper brine like based. But everything is like super, super just whole ingredients. They make everything in house. Even like their pizza is sourdough, like baked, like
I love sourdough.
Oh my gosh. So when we're done with the cleanse, we should treat ourselves and we should go there.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do it in June. No, July. Do it
You're
in
coming
July.
in July, right? You're coming in July.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
I'm
can
like, wait, I'm
totally
gonna be
do it
there in July.
Absolutely.
Allie, do you have any of the El Ruderai left?
No, I just finished it 2 days ago.
Yeah, I have some at my house, but I haven't had it now since I left, and I almost think I feel the difference of not
Well,
having
so
it first.
that's the other, that one is, it's kind of like dessert.
Yeah.
So I love that at night. I just, a little bit goes a
Wait,
long
what is
way.
that?
El
Oh,
Ruderai.
that's
Debbie
another
will
culture.
tell you about this.
This is another culture, a cultured dairy that they can't call it yogurt because it's a different strain. Yogurt is particular strains.
Yeah.
This one they came up with, they found, and it's really not even on the market yet. You have to make it. So it's a cultured dairy, but it is called El Ruderai, and it's one that you're actually born with. Like when you go through mom's canal and all this, it's in you. All other animals and things still have it because they have not had antibiotics and all different medications and things. But so much of the population, no one has this left in them anymore in any percentage, any great percentage. But it actually, on top of doing all other things, it releases oxytocin. It actually creates oxytocin. And after you have it for a little bit, like after a week, after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, you swear all of a sudden you're like, was I just nicer? Was I just happier? Did I want to have sex? Did I like it literally releases oxytocin and you physically feel it. It lightens.
Can I
your
get a
body.
recipe for it or?
Yes, you would have to buy a yogurt maker. It's so funny. So I just shipped this stuff down to Katie from Amazon before I got here. All the yogurt maker stuff comes tomorrow. So you buy the starter cultures, just like you're doing the easy kefir thing. It comes in the same kind of thing. Oh, I bought the tablets from wherever I bought them from. I think they're from Australia or somewhere. And you have to have a yogurt maker that stays on for 36 hours at 100 degrees. So I use my sous vide. So if you have one of those, you just put it in the water bath in there, but it goes for 36 hours. And the strain of you could take tablets, but you get like 13 probiotic strains or whatever the thing. And then when you do it, you get like 100 times the amount when you culture the yogurt and you make it.
Whoa.
And so I've made it coconut and I've made it not coconut yet. I've made it goat, and you make it with half and half. So that's the dessert one. It's amazing. And you only need a tiny bit. You only need like 2 tablespoons to start, and then you got to do like a 1/4 cup. That's all you need. But it is amazing. That, and I have El Gasseri. So these are 2 really important for like joints, knees. If you know anyone that has high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, like all of these things get addressed because we're supposed to have all of these microbes in our body.
Right.
Through over years, we don't. So scientists are figuring out now, and doctors, the cardiologist is actually the one who knew of it and found it, but couldn't figure out how to make it or to get it into the body stronger. So he made this culture. So now you buy the starters and you culture it for 36 hours, but it's amazing. It's so delicious.
I think I want to try that one next.
And I have all the paperwork is also in that program that I sent out.
Yeah.
The one that we have. If you go down by the cultured foods, El Gasseri and El Ruderai are in there as separate PDFs. And it's just a short version of it, but you can at least get an idea. So all these that we were given at birth and we're supposed to carry on forever, they're all depleted or they're gone completely because we've all had so many rounds of antibiotics and harsh medications, or even just a daily you know, the Tylenols and the ibuprofens and all that, they all harm it.
Okay, I want to try that next. Cool.
All right, any other questions or concerns, or are we all ready for week 2? Going in deep? Feeling that?
I'm gonna try.
That's all right. Just you have to meet yourself right where you are, and wherever you are, that's perfect. And then go from there.
Just a few changes that I've done that I haven't done before, like starting the kefir and that kombucha. Yeah, I will say this, you know, I've learned that for the morning part, I'm sticking close to home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most people say they're like, okay.
I know, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, but again, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. But yeah, no, this is I'm adding something different every time, something new. So
Very good. Me too. We're
yep,
all constantly adding a little layer on, or whatever it may be.
yeah.
All right. You're all set, Allie, and I'll see you on Monday.
See you on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you for that. Very informative. Good.
Yes.
Very
So
nice.
questions too. We'll keep going in if anybody has anything to share, something that worked or didn't, or share a recipe or a kitchery, you know. So everybody's coming up with their version of kitchery, which I love. Love all the ideas. All right. Well, have a good weekend, everyone. What day is it today? It's only Wednesday. All right.
Wednesday.
Good. We have 2 more days, and then sometimes it's easier on the weekends to prep a little or have your own free time and all that. So, all right, ladies.
Yeah.
I'll see you. I'm
Night.
going to keep this
Night,
week. I'm going
Maureen.
to keep going on.
Bye,
I don't know
Mom.
who else
Nice
is
to see your
on.
face,
Night,
Allie.
everybody.
2 young girls
Good
just jumped on.
night.
All
All
right.
right. Good night.
Hey, Didi.
Hi, sweetheart.